All right. So I don't think really people understand what it's like to have a full day. You tell me you had a full day. You went to work, you went to the gym, you had a full day. No, let me tell you about my full day. So I woke up yesterday and my husband was in a bit of a Oh, he was off. He was just off. And what does that mean? He was off. He was having a little bit of dementia and a little bit of mania, and he was just walking around dropping things, and he was walking around with his underwear half on, running outside the house. It was a full day. And I kept saying to him, you know what? Tomorrow, I don't know. I kept saying to him, you know what? Today we have the caseworker coming. So I need you to stay like this. Do not change, because when the caseworker comes and she needs to see the truth, we're going to be showing the truth that you are just either really hyper and you're on, you're off, or you're going to crash and then you're going to be in bed. So she needs to see the truth. I'm not adjusting this. So he finally crashes and he goes to bed, and she shows up and we have this conversation. She was a really nice lady. I liked her a lot, but we have this conversation and we're going through the needs of what I need. I need a little bit of extra help. I don't need 32 hours. I need 40 hours a week so that I can get a full-time job. She says I can't have it. I start crying. I need what are called chucks. They're bed pads, but we call them chucks. That's like the clinical hospital name. And she says, you get 4 a year. And I showed her my chucks and I said, look, this is bleached white because he pees on it. There's urine, there's coffee stains, but I bleach that shit. I make the washing machine smell like a pool. I'm swimming in chlorine. I'm hitting the 99-cent store for 5-6 bottles a week so that I can bleach everything. And so she's like, no, you get 4. I was like, all right. I said, so what happens when they start to deteriorate? And she's like, Amazon. Fine. I need urinals. I need towelettes. I need certain other medical equipment in the house because, he wants a little bit more independence. And she's like, no, you're going to have to talk to your doctor. I was like, all right, whatever. So then she goes and she meets him. She tells him that she saw the movie that he was in and everybody's happy now, whether he's doing quotes from the movie and then he falls back asleep and she leaves. All good. And then he says, then she leaves. I'm like, bye, have a great day. Thank you. Nice to meet you. And then I go back into his room and he asks me how it went. I said it went very well. I wound up crying during the I wound up crying during the appointment because she sees that I need help and she's unable to give it to me. So she's like, you obviously need a little bit of respite help. So I'm going to put in for 8 hours a week of that. Great. Maybe then I can take a nap and shave my legs or something. That gives me enough time. Anyway, so then she leaves, we talk, and he has to go to the bathroom. So we start arranging, our physical bodies to get him into the bathroom. And the next thing you know, he stumbles and he falls and his shoulder hits the door jamb and he is wedged between the door jamb and the door and the floor, and he just says, I broke my shoulder, and my heart collapses and I start crying because I didn't sleep the night before because I was so nervous about this appointment that I call 911. I'm like, you gotta come, and I'm in tears. And then of course the guys come and they're just fantastic. The firemen that take care of this development are fantastic. We got Mustache Matt, he was fantastic. We got Mike, the little tiny bodybuilder. Ricky was like, did you get bigger since the last time you got here? And he's like, oh, Mr. Rick, it's good to see you again. Then we got CJ, who was wearing his mask, and of course I had to say, like, those don't work, right? Those don't work. I'm like, unless you're wearing it because you think my house smells, and then it doesn't work either. So anyway, so I had to kind of apologize for riding him on the old mask, but that's that. So the next thing you know, he The guys lift him up, put him in a chair, take him to the hospital. We get to the hospital, they're taking x-rays, they're doing CAT scans. They're not letting me in. They're not letting me in. You don't think I put up with that? No way. So the next thing you know, I'm like, it's the law. It is the law. You let me in. Because Governor DeSantis, he made a law saying that you can't keep me separated from him. And I am medical power of attorney. You let me in now. They let me in. They start doing the tests. I guess they had to ask him questions about whether or not he's abused. No, he's not abused. He's loved. Anyway, so then he goes and does that, and they come back and they're like, no, nothing, not broken, nothing. So that's fine. So then we get in the car, we drive home, we get him upstairs, get him comfortable, start cooking dinner, only to notice that the dog's got no food. The dog has got no food, so I run over to the store and pick up some food for little tiny doggy. Come back, and he's like, is there chocolate? And I was so mad. I was just so mad. I was like, there is no chocolate. I bought some M&Ms, some little tiny M&Ms that you can eat. The kind that they come in the baby canisters. So I gave him that, and then he ate those little tiny M&Ms, and nobody fell asleep. Nobody slept last night. Everybody's body was hurting. And I don't think that we were hurting from actual pain, at least not myself. I was hurting from the stress. The stress does not go well with my neuropathy, and the stress does not go well with his Parkinson's. And we were up. We were just up, and we were in pain, and everybody is trying to sleep and fake it and be peaceful. But it didn't work. So then we wake up this morning, and again, it's the same thing. No one is slept, and we're looking horrible, and we got baggage, huge luggage behind our eyes, and it's just not ending, because then other things happen. I mean, it's like, to go back to yesterday, when I say the day is filled, it's not that I don't think everybody's got a filled day. It's just that the drama and the screaming and the falling and the crying and the Parkinson's and the dog and, and the heat and the bugs and, just life is here. It's very, very here. It's relevant. It's I'm going through it, and I would like life to take a break. I would like life to take a vacation, and maybe I could go to the Bahamas and do a little bit of yoga, and maybe I would not be hiding the pudding in the bedroom, so that I have at least a secret stash of stuff that I could eat. I would like life to just step away from me, so that I can stop crying. So that I could stop crying, and so that I can sleep, and so that my mother doesn't worry, and that my father's like, you sure somebody didn't do that to your elbow? Because my elbow's all black and blue from the day that I punched the door, and then because I punched the door so hard, my elbow went back, like I cocked it back, and I hit the door jamb, and then I went forward, and I smashed the door, and of course, I got a bruise, and I didn't even feel the bruise, but it's pretty. Maybe I'll show a picture of the bruise. Maybe that'll be like my opening, but it's really not that pretty. And my friend said it looks like an NFL injury, but I think let's go back to the day, the story, or the point about filled days. I would like the type of day that I could sit and have a cup of coffee and talk to my husband about how the day is going to go, and then you're going to go here and I'm going to go here, and maybe I'll stop by the pool and go get my nails done, but maybe that's just not what I signed up for, because maybe that isn't what I wanted. They say, I read this thing once, that people get the relationships that they want. I wanted the relationship with him. I never not wanted the relationship with him. I just didn't realize that it was going to be as difficult as it is. And I don't think it's because of him. I think it's the circumstances. When you don't get enough sleep, you don't react well. When you are cranky and you're looking at a pile full of dishes in the sink and a dog that needs to be shaved, and your paycheck hasn't come because you're expecting 3 this week, and you're scrambling for a couple extra bucks, and you're talking to people about this trademark fee is going to cost you $3,200, and you're just like, would life be any different if it was different? Or would I be on the same path of hectic, craziness that I need to fulfill my body and to fulfill my mind and to fulfill my soul, because I know that back when I was younger and I was cheating on all the men that I was with because I was bored, I know that I needed him, my husband. I needed him to keep it spicy. But as I've gotten older and I've entered my 50s, I know also that I could use a 3-hour nap and a couple of cucumbers under my eyes to make me look pretty. And that's just not happening right now. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'll go walk my dog in the rainstorm, or, chase some of the frogs that are around here. I don't know. I got 3 broken bikes downstairs, and I don't have a pickup to take those bikes to get fixed. And I'm not complaining about that. I'm not complaining about anything. I'm just saying my days are filled. My days are filled. My nights are sleepless. And I am lost. I'm always so lost. I'm not lost. I don't know what the fuck I am. I'm just, like trying to get out this little bit of rage that I have in me, so that someone will go, yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, me too. It's going to be okay. It really is going to be okay. Just get through the next day. That's what my brother-in-law said. One day at a time. You know what? That philosophy worked. It worked at one point in my life, but that one day at a time now is just a fucking Band-Aid. It's just a fucking Band-Aid to get me from here to there. One day at a time of Parkinson's, and one day at a time of caretaking, and one day at a time of being broke. You know what? One day at a time would be great, with $5,000 in my bank, or a friend of mine just dropping by and like, you know what? I'm going to watch him for 3 days. Go take a nap. One day at a time does not work anymore for me. And I am part of the program, and I am sober since 2009, so I don't need to hear anything about that. But I do need to hear about how to get through this, because my days are filled, and I am exhausted. And I don't know how to make this easier for him or for me. I don't even know if we should be together anymore, because I am not the greatest person anymore. This disease has broken both of us. We are stressed, and we feel underappreciated, both of us, and he should be on stage and I should be making money, and we should be doing a whole bunch of shit. And you want to apply one day at a time to this? No. Take your one day at a time and apply it to your life. Because me, it's 1 hour at a time. It's 1 second at a time. It's 1 minute at a time. I am just trying to survive. I am trying to survive with my schedules and my calendars, trying to get through this. It is not easy. It is not easy, and I am so tired with my extremely filled days. All right, bye.